You're listening to World of WWE, a WWE podcast. Hey everyone, it's Ant, and you're checking out the World of WWE podcast. This is our special Hell in a Cell 2021 prediction episode. And no, we are not in October. We are still in June. They probably switched up the pay-per-view so they could keep up the theme of Extreme Rules, the horror show or whatever the hell it was called. But anyways, thank you for checking us out. I'm Ant, and I'm joined always by my great co-hosts. Introduce yourselves.
What's up, guys? It's me, Dan.
What's up, guys? It's me, Josh.
And Carlos is not here today. He is on.
Oh, we have him in we have him here in spirit.
Yes, he is definitely 100% here in spirit. He has given us his predictions, and we're going to reveal them on this episode. Before we jump into the episode, thank you for checking us out. If you're listening to us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell to make sure you stay notified when new content comes out. There's a lot of new stuff that comes out on YouTube. Then you could check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcast. I saw somewhere that a lot of people have been listening to us through Amazon Alexa, which is cool. Check us out wherever podcasts are availables. I feel like I'm in Rugrats. Responsibilities or whatever the hell they say. Anyways, I'm referencing old shit, so that means I'm old. But let's get to business, guys. Hell in a Cell is Sunday tonight. What is the date today? What is the 19th?
The 20th.
Oh, we're in the are we really already in the 20th?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, man.
Oh my God. Wow. Well, I'm sorry. You guys just literally woke me up this morning because, this morning.
Also, I think we should say something. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Yeah, to all the good fathers.
And to the Godfathers.
The whole train. And yes, and really happy Father's Day to all the fathers, but also to like the grandfathers. And if there isn't a father figure, whoever your father figure is, whether it be an uncle, a cousin, a brother, be thankful for the men you got in your life and buy them something good.
Yeah, like tickets to a next wrestling pay-per-view.
That would be
or a nice, very nice replica title belt.
Or you could have your father subscribe to the World of WWE podcast, and that would be
do that.
Of all.
That's a nice free present too.
Free, yes. Okay, so again, thank you. Happy Father's Day to all you good men out there. So you could also celebrate by watching Hell in a Cell tonight, which is streaming. The pre-show starts at 7 o'clock on Peacock. If you're out of the United States, you can check it out on the WWE Network. That is where our Canadian friend Josh is going to be checking it out. Josh, every time I think of you now, for some reason, I think of Trish Stratus because Josh is like the first Canadian that I've ever really like had a conversation with. So I fucking am like, I also am a huge fan of Degrassi, so make fun of me all you want with that, but not.
Oh my!
Listen, not this one. I'm talking about like way back when with like Emma, and then there was like fucking Nanny. Anyways, this is not about that. So let's dive in. We're gonna cover. There are 6 matches tonight. The actual show starts at 8 o'clock. And you can also order it through your cable subscription provider if you would like. I think it's $50.
Wait, Anthony, are you sure that the pre-show starts at 7? Because normally things start at like 6, and then the actual show starts at 7.
Oh, does the show start at 7 tonight?
I think so. That's what
I'm so terrible. I'm used to, what it is? NXT TakeOver started at 8 last time, and the pre-show was at 7:30. Let me check. I think you guys are right, though, so I'm just going to wing it with you guys. Yeah. Don't listen to me. Pre-show starts at, let's see.
No, it starts
I think it's
8 p.m. Yeah, you're right. It's 8 p.m.
Oh, see, okay, cool. Yes, so listen.
9 p.m. my time.
Yes, 9 p.m. Josh's time. Oh, wait. So then, Josh, we could watch it live.
Mm.
Or is it okay? So I have a silly question for you. Hang on, because I'm ignorant, and then we're gonna get right to the show. When you say 9 o'clock, so you have to wait. It's not like it's so you're not like.
It's like the pre-show is on at 9 in Canada.
Oh,
like
so
my time.
Oh, dang. So then.
Yeah.
So then.
I watch it at the same time you guys do, but it's 9 o'clock in Canada, like where I'm at.
They're an hour ahead of us, Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay, 6. So like when we started at 8, it will be 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
My
So
time.
then cool. So normally we live text during the show, but Josh has other plans maybe tonight.
No,
So
I'll be home. I'll be home for that.
Oh, all right. So then we'll live text. Sick. All right. So let's dive right into the predictions. The first match we're going to talk about is Alexa Bliss taking on Shayna Baszler. There has been a lot of history between these two in the past couple of weeks. Alexa has just been playing mind games with Shayna Baszler, causing Baszler and Nia to, I think she helped them not lose the titles, but she did cause a distraction in some of their matches recently. And she's also caused like fire to go up on the ramp when Reginald was walking up. There was a moment where Shayna was doing Alexa's playground, and she like didn't she like step on Lily or something?
Yes.
And then the next week it was Shayna versus Bliss, and the fucking didn't like Shayna was like running for her life backstage because she was afraid of like fire or something of Lily. And then she goes backstage and she sees something. She's like, "You're not real. It's not real." And then she sees Lily, and then it goes dark. And then Alexa then takes on Nia Jax this past week on Raw, and Reginald gets involved. And then Alexa seems to like hypnotize him because he starts to follow like whatever head movement she does. So this is a very eerie match to go into. But Shayna Baszler is a former NXT Women's Champion. She was a great. Did she compete in? Was it UFC or MMA? I think it was MMA.
MMA.
Yeah, there was MMA. Yeah.
She was a great competitor in MMA, and I love Shayna Baszler and Alexa Bliss. We've talked a lot about how her character as the goddess could be a little bit better, and I understand that, but you can't count out Alexa Bliss either because she was a former Raw Women's Champion, a former
And SmackDown Live Women's Champion as well.
Yep, SmackDown Live Women's Champion, Women's Tag Team Champions, and she's done a lot.
I think she was also the first one to ever win like the SmackDown and the Raw Women's Champion.
Yeah, she was.
Wow, yeah. So you can't count her out. So, Josh, let's start with you. What is your prediction? Who is going to win this match?
I thought a lot about this since we last did our podcast, and I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
But I have a little bit of a theory. Now, I think The Fiend might make an appearance.
Okay.
Or there's Lily's going to make an appearance. Now, I'm thinking Lily's going to be a person. Now, I'm thinking about it's Mia Yim. Is it Kim or Yim?
Mia Yim.
That's it. Mia Yim?
Yep.
Or it's Nikki Cross who's going to take over as Lily. But I feel like Nia Jax is getting involved. Either remember, if you remember WrestleMania, she cost The Fiend the match. So I wouldn't be surprised if The Fiend, does his little light camera action stuff and shows up in the corner and then she gets distracted or something like that. But I feel like she's going to win. But there might be an interference.
Okay. Dan, I'm going to go to you. Let me say Carlos's pick, and then I really want to say my pick because he just had a good theory, and I kind of want to bounce off of that theory, okay?
Okay,
so Carlos chose Alexa Bliss. He thinks she's going to win. he didn't say an explanation, but he does think she's going to win. I understand why. She's a former, like you said, the first Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion. So not first, but like the first time that like she held both titles. Anyways,
not at the same time, but like, you know.
Yes. I'm like losing the words to describe it. You said it perfectly earlier. So I'm going with Alexa Bliss too, but I didn't think of anything of a reason. I just thought she was going to win until Josh said that. And I do think we might see, if we do see Lily appear, I think it's probably not going to happen. But what if it was like Zelina Vega or something? Because she's been in the PC lately. And I know that's like a really random and super far-fetched because her, husband was just fired, but that would be interesting to see, because she has been training in the PC for some reason. And if it was a person, it could be, I don't know necessarily if it would be Nikki Cross, because they have this sort of like new character angle going with her where she's able to like beat these random, women all the time. And then Mia Yim, I heard, might be on SmackDown, but she could appear. I do think The Fiend, it's a possibility of The Fiend, but I'm going to say Zelina Vega might appear. And then Dan, go ahead. What's your prediction?
No, it's kind of tough because I see both sides. I see the whole Lily thing, and I also see where like maybe Nia Jax comes out and costs her, but I see Alexa Bliss winning because of like, I don't see a reason why Shayna Baszler would win. Like, what point would there be to it? Oh, she wins? That like, it doesn't just make sense to me. So, and the whole
I agree.
thing,
I can't see Shayna winning because Alexa already lost her last pay-per-view match for their women's title. Did she not lose to Asuka? That's
I don't really
what was the
remember.
pay-per-view before WrestleMania?
I don't really remember. I don't remember her going for the women's title.
Wait, when was this?
She faced her last match before Nia Jax was against Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship when Asuka beat her.
Oh yes, because
Royal Rumble?
I remember. I don't know if it was Royal Rumble, but I remember Asuka was kind of like a little freaked out by her because she was doing the weird like movements and something. And I think didn't like something happen by like a count out or something like Asuka. It was like a no contest kind of, right?
I don't really remember. I mean,
I thought Asuka tapped her out.
Well, if it was Asuka, then it would have been before WrestleMania. I think I know which one you guys are talking about. Is it the one from like Monday Night Raw?
Yes.
Was it the one
maybe
where
it was
she was
on
like?
Raw.
Was it the one where she was like kind of like turning from like her creepy self to like her old self?
No, I think it was on Raw because Randy would RKO'd Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, I think
so it could have been because of that disqualification.
Yeah,
because it was after she hit him in the face with the pyro, and it was before Fiend even came back on Raw.
Yeah.
Whatever. Let's focus on the match that we're actually here to talk about.
So,
like I said, I think Alexa Bliss is going to win, but what I think is gonna happen is I think Lily's just gonna be like on stage like the doll or whatever, and it's just like gonna appear on stage with like a spotlight coming down, freak Shayna out, and then Alexa will like roll her up or something.
Okay, all right. So whoever wins gets 10 points. We all have Bliss. So I mean, I think if she wins, we'll all get points. However, because and Dan, you could jump in too if you want. I think Vega is gonna come out. So if Vega does come out, I get an extra 5 points. Josh thinks that either the Fiend or someone as Lily, either Mia Yim or Cross, is gonna come out, so he might get extra 5 points. Dan, if you want to jump in,
yeah, I said the whole Lily will appear on stage, but like just the doll and everything. Like the doll will somehow make an appearance.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, cool. All right, next.
So we all have an opportunity to earn extra 10 points.
Yes. And I'll say for Carlos, I feel bad because he didn't say
Well, I mean, to be fair, he does have an extra prediction that we don't know what it is yet.
True. Okay.
Well, I have a seeking suspicion, but
He has a seeking. Dan is going to tell us who he thinks or what he thinks is going to happen.
yeah.
So, our next match we're going to talk about is Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, and this goes back to like 2015 after Sami Zayn won the NXT Championship for the first time. Kevin Owens, his best friend, comes out, congratulates him, and then hits him with a power bomb on the ring apron,
Injuring him.
Yes, injuring him. They fought, and then they eventually would come to WWE. They would fight again. Then they would become friends. Then they would fight again, become friends, fight again, and now they are enemies.
Hey, it's like they say, fight forever.
Fight forever. That's right. And this past couple of weeks, Sami Zayn has been a thorn in Kevin Owens' side, continuing to attack him from behind, causing distractions, allowing Owens to continue to lose the matches that he's been involved in. And last week, Sami Zayn caused the freaking Nigerian nail twice to KO, and Sami Zayn was backstage cracking up, watching on a monitor, KO screaming pain. And that's when KO demanded this match. So let's start with Dan. Dan, who do you think is going to win this contest?
Here's the thing. So we've seen this match so many times. We've seen it at WrestleMania. We've seen it at Backlash. We've seen them in just we've seen them in a match and they fight against each other. We've seen this so many times. But the thing is, they have such good chemistry that it's hard to pick. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I want Sami Zayn to win because I think he deserves it. I mean, he's lost to Kevin Owens so many times. I think it's about time he finally gets his win against him.
Okay. All right. Okay. I hear you. I'm a Sami Zayn fan too. Let's go with Josh.
I love his character too. So
yeah, he's very like crazy now. Like
he's a great heel. I gotta say that much.
Yeah, and I like him better as like the controversial than the stupid, like when he would come out and like make fun of like the dance moves that he did.
I also loved when he did like, it's all a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I love that. That's the best thing. Josh, who is your pick to win this match?
You know, it is really hard to pick. But I'm still going to go with Kevin Owens. See, Sammy's such a hard to really go for because when you choose Sami, it usually ends up not being Sami. At WrestleMania, I chose Sami and he didn't win. So
yeah.
I like Sami Zayn. You know, I prefer Sami over Kevin. But I'm gonna have to stick with my gut in this one and go Kevin Owens because, like you and Dan said, you know, Sami has cost Kevin so many matches lately. So I kind of feel like, you know, it's going to be Kevin, I think.
Yeah, I hear you. Dan, if Zayn does win, he's going to say, "Do you believe in miracles?" You're going to hear that because it's true. I mean, poor Sami Zayn. So let me tell you my pick, and then I'll tell you Carlos. I went with Kevin Owens, kind of to bounce off of what Josh said, like, the fact that Kevin Owens has gotten a lot of like attacks from behind, interference, distractions. It's almost like it looks like KO is going to be the one. And also, like, I hate to say this, but it seems like every time, like on a SmackDown or a Raw, the person who ends up getting the upper hand that night before the pay-per-view ends up losing. And I wish they didn't do that. I wish they would
so predictable.
Yeah, like I wish they would keep the wrestlers separate until the show. Like you could do an interview segment with them, you know, maybe do a tag match.
But that's kind of partly why I also wanted to go with Sami because it's so unpredictable that WWE might do it because they do throw shit at the wall to see what sticks, you know?
Yep, and I was gonna say that, you know, and it's true, you know, like Owen, you know, he could win and just kind of put out Owens for a bit, you know, and then have Owens come back. But I initially went with Owens, and I'm not going to change my pick. I think I love Owens. He's one of my favorites. And I do like Sami Zayn. But I don't know. I feel like Sami needs a fresh start. And I think they need to like stop making him fight Kevin Owens at some like it needs to end. And
Give
maybe
him back like the Intercontinental title. That would be great.
that's what I'm saying, or even US, like something. Because he is great, but he does get lost in the shuffle because it's like he's never like Josh said, he always loses. And it's like how can you
They always build him up to fail. That's what they do.
Yeah. And it's sad because it's like I just don't understand why Vince doesn't continue things with NXT. Like we were talking about that Piper Niven, her name is now Dewdrop. I don't understand why they wouldn't just stick with that name and stick with, she went after the NXT UK Women's title. It's almost like he thinks people don't pay attention. And there are some that don't, but there are a lot that do. And then it's like they come in, like Sami Zayn had like one of the greatest NXT matches of all time against Cesaro at the first Arrival show, and they forget about it because right now we don't see any of that character in him.
I think it's because they're indie stars, and Vince hates indie stars.
Yeah.
Like think about it, Sami Zayn, he's not going to complain to Vince out back about how they portray him.
Yeah.
Because
also, I think
while you're here.
I also think Vince likes to be the one to build the superstar up. Like he built The Rock up, he built Stone Cold, like, at least he claims and everything. And I think he likes to be the one to do that. Like he doesn't like when someone's already so popular and everything, and he's like, they won't care about him after this match. So it's like, why bother? You know what I mean?
But my thought, though, can I say something? And this is something that they had to do. When all the wrestlers left for WCW in the 90s, they had to build new stars. They had to have backup plans. It wasn't just right now Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley. Back then it was Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, Diesel, Bret Hart, Stone Cold.
Well, technically, Diesel went to WCW.
Right, correct. Sorry, but I'm talking about the beginning of '95. Like in the beginning, you could count on those people. It was stacked. You didn't need Shawn Michaels to. I mean, he did pull the crowd, but a lot of those people were able to get the crowd going. And then yes, they left, and then they had to use new stars. Mankind, Undertaker. I said those people. But anyways, I just feel like right now it's like I feel like Vince is stupid for trying to make one sole person represent the company. That might have worked for the past couple of years, but I feel like with social media, people want more than just one person to follow and more for one person to care about. And I do have something else to really say, and this is really random. I have a new beef against Triple H. I used to like him. I don't like him no more.
Why is that?
Hang on, let me take a sip. And by the way, everybody, we always go off the rails here, but we will come back because I recently watched the China documentary on Vice. And pretty much, I'm just going to tell you really a quick synopsis. She, in 2015, was living in Japan, and she had a good life there. She was a school teacher. She was away from drugs. She was doing her thing. And in 2015, this production company contacted her, and they wanted to create a documentary called it was like the renewing, it was like fixing China, pretty much. It was like making China popular again. And basically they had China move back to the States, and they had her address a lot of issues that she had in the past. And a lot of people know the story. Well, first of all, there is no China like China. No one will ever be like her.
No one.
And when she started in 97, she actually had a boyfriend that she left to hook up with Triple H, and then her and Triple H were together. And a lot of people know the story. China eventually started to fight men, and she had a good time with that. And then in 2001, it seemed like they wanted her to take on more of the women, and she felt like that was pushing her character back because she was fighting the men. Why would she want to go back to fighting women? She felt. So then there was a moment where she had a house with Triple H, and Triple H and Stephanie were, seeing each other a lot. And at one point, China found a love letter between Stephanie and Triple H. and I guess she confronted him on it, and they were at an arena. He broke up with her, and he left her there by herself, and then she got fired or released, whatever, the next day. Anyway, so she went through a lot of shit, and then eventually she ended up taking like serious drugs, hooked up with X-Pac, and did drugs with him. She didn't have a relationship with her mom. Her fucking father stabbed the mother. Really fucked up shit, you guys. And like, it's just terrible because she was a very nice person and she deserves a lot of recognition. And Triple H made a comment in 2014 or 2015, and Stone Cold was asking him, like, would Chyna ever be in the Hall of Fame? And he's like, well, that's tricky because my daughter is 8 years old, and if he looks up the name Chyna, he's going to find all kinds of porn and da-da-da-da. And it's like, buddy, not for nothing. You have Carlos Colon, a friggin' rumored to be killer, which I think he was in the Hall of Fame. So, anyways, so she ended up dying. She had an overdose of alcohol and different types of medication, but I just feel like the whole point of why I'm pissed too, not only was that comment, but they ended up filming her trying to go to WWE headquarters and they like kicked her out.
Jeez.
So it's hard for someone to be that great and then to think so low of yourself, because she did, and then to die, and it's just like these scumbags are like capitalizing bastards. Anyways.
Yeah.
I love how we went from Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn to Chyna. Sorry, everybody out there. Carlos's pick was Kevin Owens too. So Dan, you are the only difference maker here.
I am the sole survivor on Sami Zayn. Jeez.
One of us is gonna lose. Well, yeah, we'll see.
One of us will lose.
Yeah. All right. So next
we'll see about that.
The first title match we're going to talk about, the WWE Raw Women's Championship. The Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley taking on Charlotte Flair. This match also has history to it. Obviously, last year at WrestleMania, Charlotte Flair beat Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship. She had a little title run in NXT. She eventually dropped the belt to Io Shirai. And then Rhea came to WWE, eventually defeated Asuka. Charlotte Flair ended up changing her character a little bit, saying that she deserved the title. She deserves more because she's Charlotte Flair. She then competed in a triple threat match against Rhea Ripley and Asuka, with Rhea winning. And lately, Rhea and Charlotte have been competing in a pretty much I can do what you can do, but better. They've both lost, though, to Nikki Cross recently. They were recently in a tag match where they both were like hitting each other to get the tags in, and eventually Rhea laid Charlotte out with a riptide. And then this past week, Rhea took on Asuka, and Charlotte came out after the match and just in this, as Josh mentioned, the ugliest attire we've seen, attacked Rhea and left her out. So this is leading up to tonight. Let me ask you, Josh, who is going to walk out Raw Women's Champion?
Charlotte.
Flair.
I hate to say that.
Okay, why do you think that?
Charlotte Flair is the John Cena of the women's division. I don't think she'll put Rhea over.
It's Rhea.
Sorry.
Dan is not happy because that's Dan's like second number one lady.
Well, actually, she technically is my number one because honestly, the way they're treating Bayley, I mean, it's
because he's like, well, except for Triple H likes the manly looking women. Like he's all into Rock. He's all into Charlotte. He's into Rhea. Like those are his bitches, man. Like he's like, these are my women I wish I could be with. Because even Stephanie is probably manly. Anyways, I'm sorry, Josh. Go back. So Charlotte Flair is not going to put Rhea over.
No, I'm going to stick with Charlotte.
Okay. All right. How about you, Dan?
If the pick wasn't obvious, I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley. I believe that it's her time to finally prove she can beat Charlotte Flair on her own. Because as you said, she lost to Charlotte at Mania, like, what was it, 2020? Yeah, it was 2020. Last year. So I think this is her chance to finally prove she can beat Charlotte on her own. She doesn't have to go against Asuka. She doesn't have to deal with the triple threat bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
She can finally prove herself, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay. All right. Chance for Rhea to prove herself. Carlos went with Charlotte Flair, so he agrees with Josh. Charlotte is probably the John Cena of WWE and is going to walk out Raw Women's Champion. And I agree with Dan. I think Rhea Ripley is going to walk out as Raw Women's Champion. I think she just won the title. And I do think that Charlotte Flair is really great. But you know what I would love to see? Or I don't know if I would love to see this. But I have a feeling that Charlotte Flair is going to have a big match at SummerSlam, but it's not going to be for a title. I feel like it's going to be one of those, like, not Trish Stratus, but like one of those Trish Stratus versus Flair, where she's going to fight someone unexpected and somebody that the fans will be excited to see. So it's probably not going to be this, but like a Sasha Banks, I think would almost be in that criteria. Not her, but someone who maybe the fans haven't thought of recently. And I've thought of Sasha, and Carlos is going to be upset that I say that, but right now, you know, Sasha's been out since WrestleMania. 3 months ago? 2 months ago?
Yeah,
So,
about 3 months ago, yeah.
so I don't know, but I do think Charlotte Flair, like, you know, hearing what Josh said, I do think Charlotte does. I call her Charlotte. I do think Charlotte has a chance of, you know, regaining the Raw Women's Championship that, you know, she held for a long time. But I do think it would be silly if they dropped it to her because Rhea just won, and they will then treat Rhea like Sami Zayn and give her no credibility at all. So I'm gonna try and go at Rhea Ripley. So again, someone is gonna lose. You have. I'm going with Rhea Ripley. Carlos is going with Charlotte Flair. Josh is going with Charlotte Flair, and Dan is going with Rhea Ripley. So different picks for that. So our next match we're going to talk about is another rematch from WrestleMania this past year, Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. This whole rivalry has been just insane from the get-go. They've pretty much fought because Rollins seems to be jealous of Cesaro's success recently. They fought at WrestleMania. Cesaro like annihilated him, did one of the coolest moves that I've seen, you know, where he had his head, and then he was just pretty much like spinning Rollins around. And then Rollins came back, like viciously assaulted Cesaro. Cesaro comes back, beats him, pulls his pants off, and then it's past.
Ding, ding, ding. What?
You want to go to that game store?
Now, thank you for checking out that quick ad. As Dan was saying before, we are back. So I think Josh was in the middle of explaining. Somebody was talking. I think it was Josh. Josh, who do you think? Oh, no, wait, I was still talking. I'm sorry. I didn't finish. Guys, I'm all kinds of discombobulated. Let me talk about the ad too really quick. Like the ad said, check us out because we're fucking cool and like fucked up, and I'm probably acting high even though I'm not right now. Check us out wherever podcasts are available. YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, World of WWE Podcast. Thank you for listening. Back to our coverage on the match. So yes, Cesaro pulls off Seth Rollins' pants. And then this past week on SmackDown, Cesaro and Rollins had a face-to-face where Rollins said he didn't respect Cesaro. Cesaro says he respects Seth Rollins as a wrestler. And then he pushes Seth Rollins off of his chair. Josh, I'm going to go to you. Who do you think is going to win this one?
No, I think the Cesaro swing has been over for years. But I'm going to go with my boy, Seth Rollins.
Right.
I never vote against Seth Rollins. I always go with Seth Rollins.
Oh, God. You and Carlos are going to fucking do the cuddle puddle.
He is my boy, all right? He's my boy.
All right.
And I've never been wrong with Rollins, and I'm going to stay with Rollins. Always. Never doubt the Friday Night Savior.
Yeah.
Friday Night Savior.
All right, okay. How about you, Dan? Who are you going for?
It's a tough one, realistically, because I mean, Cesaro's beat him a few times, and so has Rollins and everything. But I'm gonna go with Cesaro because Cesaro's been losing a bit recently, and I just think he needs his credit back. So I think he's gonna beat Rollins again.
It's funny. I feel like we're in a tag team match because I agree with Dan. I think Cesaro is gonna win here, just because. Like I always say, this is like my motto. It's like my people are gonna like make a friggin' meme of me saying this over and over and over again. Is it necessary? Is it
Oh,
necessary?
I'm gonna start making a meme for that for you, Anthony. I'm gonna
Yeah,
start doing that.
that's totally what I say. Is it really necessary for Seth Rollins to beat Cesaro right now in this stage of their career? Now, I'm not saying that Rollins isn't great. Rollins is fucking amazing. He puts on every match, like Seth Rollins is going to put on a performance when he fights on pay-per-views and when he has big matches. The only thing is, again, and this is what Vince tends to do, he's probably going to make this happen. I don't see where Cesaro's momentum will go if he loses against Seth Rollins because, like I said, why would he lose to him after beating him at WrestleMania? Now, they could always do a cheap win where Rollins, uses like a chair or like does something without the ref seeing and then wins. But I'm gonna go with Cesaro because I really want him to win. I don't think it would be good for him if he lost. And then Carlos also went. Well, who do we think Carlos went with?
It's
I think
Rollins.
one was just with Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that is like Carlos's like dad. He is like that's his man, and that's totally cool. I love freaking Seth Rollins, cool, but Cesaro's like my dad. I freaking love Cesaro, man. Okay, so this is our second title match of the night, and it's our first Hell in a Cell match. This match was recently made at Hell in a Cell last Friday on SmackDown. We're gonna have the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair defending against Bayley. These two have had a rivalry since last year. It's pretty much again has been a rivalry of, well, I can do what you can do better. Remember they had the like triathlon where they were doing the different obstacle courses, and then Bayley would beat Bianca a couple of times, Bianca would beat Bayley a couple of times, and then Bianca goes to WrestleMania, wins the title, and then at WrestleMania Backlash, Bayley would challenge Bianca and lose. Bayley has a new character now where she basically laughs in Bianca's face and continues to do it. And this past Friday on SmackDown, Bianca was talking about how Bayley laughing at her reminds her of being bullied when she's young, but she is not young anymore and she is unapologetically herself. That's when Bayley comes down, the two brawl, but Bayley ends up using Bianca's ponytail to push her into the guardrail, and then she lays her out with a rose plant in the middle of the ring. So let me go with Dan. Dan, who is your pick to win this Hell in a Cell match?
It's tough, like, because as you said, they've had the rivalry last year, which Bianca won, and Bianca just recently won the title at Mania, so it's hard. But it really pains me to say this because as much as Bayley's one of my favorites, I think Bianca's gonna win because she just won the title. It wouldn't make sense for her to just lose it like that.
Okay.
You're wrapping it up, Dan?
All right. How about you, Josh? Who's your pick?
Okay. Huh? Yes. Okay. Shut the lights out.
Shock. Dan's family is talking in the back.
I apologize, everyone. I'm currently at my grandparents' house celebrating Father's Day. I apologize for that.
It's okay. We are live. It's fine. So Josh, it's your turn.
It's really hard to choose. But I'm gonna butt myself in the ass with this one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Bayley.
Bayley. Okay, why?
Yeah. It's gonna be disqualification, I think.
Okay. Okay.
She's gonna disqualify herself. I have a theory.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh wait, is it Hell in a Cell?
Oh wait, I'm sorry. That's right. Duh. Well,
There is no.
I mean, with the stupid Fiend and Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I'm still gonna stay with Bayley.
Yeah, stick with Bayley. Okay.
Yeah.
Carlos has gone with Bianca Belair. I am gonna go with Bianca Belair, but for a different reason than you guys have said, except for Josh. I'm gonna go with Bianca because I have a feeling at SummerSlam we're gonna see Bianca versus Banks too. And to get there, Bianca needs to keep the title. So I think it's going to be a good match, but I think Bianca is going to retain this SmackDown Women's Championship. So yeah, that's my pick. So I think we all have different picks. Well, not all, but except for Josh, we all agree that Bianca's going to win, where Josh thinks Bayley is going.
Again, it pains me to say that. It does.
It does.
It does too. Because I love Bianca, but I don't know. My guts tell me Bayley, so I gotta go with my gut.
All right. That's always good to go with. Now we are here at our main event. It is a Hell in a Cell match for the WWE Championship. The almighty WWE Champion Bobby Lashley taking on Drew McIntyre. To be honest with you guys, I am done seeing this match, but
I think we're all done seeing this match.
They fought at WrestleMania, and wasn't it? Did Lashley win at Mania? Or no?
Yeah.
Lashley won at Mania, and Lashley's been winning every single match they've gone in.
Yeah, and they fought like many times. This time, the whole sort of storyline is that Drew McIntyre has this
last chance.
Yeah, it's his last chance, and he also is talking about how he has this sort of like skill or this sort of way of beating Bobby Lashley. So let's go with you, Josh. Who is going to win this match, this last chance match?
See, again, it's one of the matches where it's so hard because Drew McIntyre is Vince McMahon's boy. Vince McMahon always loved Drew McIntyre. You know, he's the chosen one. Then you're going against the almighty Bobby Lashley. Now, Bobby Lashley is the second African-American to be world champion. So, I don't know. See, I was trying to avoid this match personally because it's hard to choose. Like I said, this is probably the best Bobby Lashley's been in years, and this has been the best Drew's been in years.
100%. It's a hard one.
I'm gonna go with Bobby Lashley because I think Bobby Lashley's gonna tap Drew out, and I hate to say that, but Bobby Lashley's a beast, and I really want to see Lesnar versus Lashley at SummerSlam. Sadly to see, but
all right.
Bobby Lashley's on a roll, and right now, like, he's the same as Roman because if you think about Survivor Series, we already had Drew versus Roman, and that match was good, but Roman versus Drew and the way that they're going, I'm gonna stick with Bobby Lashley.
All right, okay, Bobby Lashley. How about you, Dan?
It's tough, just like Josh said. It's just a hard pick. I mean, they've both been on a roll, kind of, except Drew, because he hasn't won anything yet. I'm gonna go with Drew McIntyre, and I'll tell you why. Because Lashley versus Brock doesn't need to be for a world title. It doesn't. And McIntyre's lost so many matches against Lashley, and he didn't have such great success in a Hell in a Cell last year when Randy Orton beat him. So, I mean, I gotta go with McIntyre.
All right, Drew McIntyre, the Scottish psychopath. Let me tell you Carlos's pick. Carlos is going with Bobby Lashley. Dan, why don't you guess? What do you think Carlos is thinking?
I'm thinking that he's gonna see that MVP is gonna come out or something and help him.
You are wrong, actually, Dan.
Can I guess?
You can guess.
I think Braun Strowman's gonna come back and destroy both of them.
All right, that's what you think. Carlos thinks Braun Strowman.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, well, you're wrong too, Josh. Carlos thinks that Brock Lesnar is going to return tonight.
Oh, and screw over Lashley.
So we will see.
Oh,
That's a good idea. I didn't think of that.
I never thought of that either.
It could be a good build, screw him over on a pay-per-view rather than on Raw.
Screw him over for the title. Screw him over for everything, man.
But I heard
smart idea. I kind of want to
Brock was interested in coming back.
I kind of want to go with Carlos on that. I kind of have to agree with him on that.
You think Lesnar's going to return? Okay, I'll put that.
I think Lesnar's going to return, screw over Lashley, and McIntyre's going to beat him. Or he could screw over McIntyre and they can go against each other at SummerSlam for revenge for Drew beating him at WrestleMania.
Here's what I think is going to happen. Can I tell you what I think is going to happen on Raw? I have a feeling so Lashley's going to win in my opinion, but I think they're just going to have Lesnar come out on Raw. Have Lashley come out and before he even speaks, dun 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 dun, and you just hear it. And then you're like, oh shit. I mean, because I think that'd be a good way to get people to to talk about, oh shit, we got to watch Raw next week because anything could happen. But they're probably gonna have him come out tonight.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
The latest rumor I heard is that it's very heavily Bobby Lashley is what I'm hearing versus Lesnar, but Lesnar would be the baby face. And I'm thinking, I think Bobby Lashley is gonna beat McIntyre, and then when the match is done, Lashley is going to just attack him, and maybe Lesnar does show up.
So we all are thinking
Brock Lesnar as the baby face. That's so weird to think of.
Mm-hmm. Well, I remember when he was a couple years ago, so I can.
Yeah, but that was
the Triple H feud. He was the face.
So. I'm gonna stick with my pick of Drew. I'm gonna say Brock comes in, screws over Lashley, them versus them at SummerSlam, and Drew gets the title back. That's my prediction.
Okay, all right, okay. So I think Lashley is going to win. I don't think there's going to be any interference because I think they're going to save it for Raw. But yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. So
looks like the one standing alone again.
Yes, you are, Dan. Before we close out the show, I want to again go over our predictions really quick. So the first match we talked about Shayna Baszler versus Alexa Bliss. We all believe Alexa Bliss is going to win. Dan thinks that Lily, the doll, is just going to appear. I think Zelina Vega is going to appear. Josh thinks that the Fiend is going to appear, or Lily will come out as a person, being Mia Yim or Nikki Cross. The next match we did was Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. Josh, Carlos, and myself, we all think Kevin Owens is going to win. Dan is a lone survivor here. He thinks Sami Zayn is going to walk out as the winner. Next, we talked about the Raw Women's Championship. The champion Rhea Ripley defending against Charlotte Flair. I thought that Rhea Ripley was going to win. Carlos thought Charlotte Flair. Dan went with me, agreeing that Rhea Ripley is going to win. And Josh agreed with Carlos that Charlotte Flair is going to win. Then we talked about Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. Josh and Carlos again thought that Seth Rollins is going to win, and Dan and I thought Cesaro was going to win. Then we have the Hell in a Cell SmackDown Women's Championship match. Bianca Belair defending against Bayley. Josh thinks Bayley is going to win, and Carlos, Dan, and myself, we think Bianca Belair is going to win. In our main event, WWE Champion Bobby Lashley defending against Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell match. I think Bobby Lashley is going to win. Carlos thinks Lashley is going to win and Brock Lesnar is going to return. Dan thinks Drew McIntyre is going to win and Lesnar will return as well and screw over Lashley to let Drew win. And Josh thinks that Lashley is going to tap out Drew McIntyre.
Wait. Can I actually make a different prediction, actually, now that I think about something?
Go ahead, Dan.
I think I think Brock Lesnar will return, but I think this Hell in a Cell will end in a no contest. Just like they have with 2019, just as they did in 2018.
Yeah.
I think it's going to end in a no contest with Brock laying out McIntyre and Brock laying out Lashley.
Okay. Okay.
So
Actually,
meaning,
my prediction too.
I guess that means I'm choosing Lashley instead of McIntyre. Because technically he would retain the belt, but I say it's going to end in a no contest.
Okay. Josh, did you say something?
Yeah, I wanted to. No, I'm gonna keep my same prediction. Keep my same prediction.
All right. So if you want to play along, each prediction is worth 10 points. If you have an extra thought, like we did about Lesnar returning or Zelina Vega appearing as Alexa Bliss, whatever your extra, that will be an extra 5 points for you. The winner, the person with the most points at the end, wins. Currently, I am the champion here, but everyone is coming for the title, so we will see.
I'm surprised Carlos didn't make a prediction saying, "Oh, Sasha Banks is going to come back."
He probably is like right. I'm surprised because he's normally number one on his mind. You're right.
That's my point. That's what I thought his original prediction was going to be about: is Sasha Banks coming back, and that's what I thought.
That's right. That is a big surprise. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Yeah. Maybe he's hoping she'll come out on SmackDown or Raw. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
So if you are in the States, you can check out the kickoff show. It starts at 7 p.m. If you're outside the States, like our friend Josh here in Canada, the kickoff show starts at 8 o'clock. And then again, if you're in the States here, the actual pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell, starts at 8 p.m. You can check it out on Peacock, or you can check it out on your cable provider service. If you're out of the States, you can check it out on the WWE Network. And I'm assuming your cable service too, Josh, right?
Nope, I stream it on my laptop.
Okay, well, it's like I'm watching it on the laptop. Yep. So that's cool, man. So thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, do what you got to do. And yeah, enjoy Hell in a Cell tonight. It's going to be a great show and it's going to be awesome. So enjoy Hell in a Cell. Any last words?
Enjoy Hell in a Cell and have a great Father's Day.
Yep. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.